uh, just so when I'm painting, you guys can see it perfectly fine. I think that should be good. How's everyone doing this wonderful Wednesday? I know um, today's not the day usually that I do live streams, but um, I'm going to be a little busy during Friday, so I'm gonna have to do a pre-recorded video for that day. So today, I thought we could do a nice waterfall scene. So let's just get started with today's painting. Let's go into a little touch of the phthalo blue. Tap it into our 2-inch brush. You can use a 1-inch, a fan brush, whatever. I'm just gonna use my 2-inch brush. Tap the bristles, as you can see. Welcome, welcome. And just let's do a nice little sky. There. Tap in that paint and do crisscross. Today I thought we could do a nice little waterfall scene. The reason why I'm doing a live stream today rather than Friday like usual is I'm gonna be a little busy, so I have to have Friday off in a way. There, a little more phthalo blue. Really load my brush up with phthalo blue. Tackle it on. There. There we go. Go across. Maybe let's load up a bit more. Shoot. There. That's a nice little sky. It's just the basics. Okay. So I'm going to go into a little bit of alizarin crimson and phthalo blue. Maybe even a touch of black. What the heck? Let's start figuring out where everything will go. Maybe, yeah. There we go. Just using like a nice lavender color. You'll see why in a sec. Maybe our waterfall comes here. So easy to paint a nice waterfall. I just don't paint them too often though. Okay. Welcome for the people who are joining. Just going into phthalo blue and alizarin crimson. Just want a nice lavender color. You know what? Let me go into a little touch of black. There. And just block it in really. There. Now, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. Maybe just tapping with the corner of the brush. There. Just kind of getting that color involved. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's start off with our waterfall. So I'm just gonna go into titanium white paint with my 2-inch brush. Maybe a little bit of blue. Slightest touch. Now load up that 2-inch brush or 1-inch, whatever you're using. come up here, just pull down. Just very lightly. Shoo. Okay. Now, that's it for now. As of now. Let's go ahead, let's grab cadmium yellow. Let me grab a decent pile. And a little bit of bright red. It'll give us this nice orange color, depending how much bright red you put on there. A little more yellow, just to even it out. If you put too much red, just add more yellow, depending what way you want your colors to go. Now, the reason why I use the lavender is because I didn't want the colors to go off horrible and make horrible colors. So let's tap that 2-inch brush into my orange. Tap, tap, tap. Let me grab a little touch of liquid white, just a little touch. And we're gonna imagine that this scene takes place in fall. Think of each little um, leaf and stroke. I'm going to come back to this, play around with the colors and all that. But as of now, I just want basic little highlights on this. There. Just the corner of the brush. How you guys doing? Feel free to chat in the live chat. Tell me any recommendations or whatever you want to do. There. There we go. Just tapping. You're probably saying, man, that's not fall. Um that's just the bright orange. It doesn't look like fall. Let it come together. Once it comes together, then you can criticize. If it doesn't look like fall by the time I'm done, then you can say you're not a real painter. There. Just with the corner of the brush. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go into bright red. Maybe a little alizarin crimson. What the heck? Alizarin crimson, bright red, into our orange color. Just kind of tapping. Look at all that stuff in my brush. And kind of just mess around with the colors a bit. Just a little bit. Don't do too much. I'm not adding details just yet. Once I add details, then we're gonna spend quite the minute on there. There. But I think lavender is such a forgiving color with anything you put on. Instead of putting like pure black, lavender's pretty forgiving. There. How does that look? Welcome, welcome for the people who are joining. Good evening, George. How are you doing? Let me go into a bit more alizarin crimson. Maybe. Oh yeah. Just a little firecracker. Maybe taps down. There. A little more red over here. Let's do the same thing for the trees. There. There we go. Just sort of a basic indication. That's all I care for. Let me wipe off my brush. I have a nice clean napkin over here to the side. And after wiping it, just beat off the excess. And you can repeat the process. It leaves it pretty clean, but that only works if you have fairly little paint on your brush. If you have quite the paint, it's not gonna work. Damn, I got bit by mosquitoes really bad. One like here, one over here. Ah, I'll be fine. Okay, let's go ahead and let's let me pile up my orange paint. We're gonna use it eventually again. Let me wipe off my knife. Now, I'm gonna take some alizarin crimson, sap green. Just mix up that color. Gives me a nice brown. Mix it up until you're satisfied with the color. Just because I do certain colors doesn't mean you have to do those colors. I'm glad you're doing well, George. Glad to see you guys are here watching me, giving me motivation to keep going. Leave your paint marbled. Not too much white, not too much dark. Just leave it marbled. Let me grab a flat brush. Or you can do this trick. You load up your brush completely, pull it through one end, and kind of just let it go a little blended. It's it's weird. And then just use the corner of the brush. There. Just blocking in the basics. I'm trying to avoid using palette knives the most I can. That way you guys can advance in your paintings. Because if we're always using palette knives, you're not gonna improve too much. You'll improve time to time, but it's just gonna take you longer. And I want it to be easy for you. I want you to find success quicker than I found it. There, just a little bit of white in there. Okay, just checking the live chat. So if I stay silent and don't do anything, that's because I'm checking the live chat. Just sort of block in. Okay, maybe over here. I only use that trick for the front. Maybe over here comes up, locks in, and then maybe a couple rocks here and there. There, maybe a little bit of light kissing it. Ooh, very gentle though. If it gets too bright on you, just keep working that paint in and it'll blend out a bit. I really recommend you guys put some napkins off to the side when painting because that way you can just wipe off the extra paint that's on your brush. So helpful. You guys want to see my setup? Leave it in the chat. I made this easel, so everything is in the order I want it. I designed it so where I have my cleaner, my my napkins and all that, where I think would benefit me in my painting. But sort of just block in, and you'll see those details when you put it to work. Just block in basic shadows. There. Oh yeah. There we go. Sure. Okay. So I have the easel connected, and when you see me turn, I'm going to get the napkins to just wipe off my brush. I have my brushes here all set up, my cleaner over there, my liquid white. I have a mess right now, but usually it's more organized and more better. But I recommend you having a station where you know where everything's at, even with your eyes closed. It's always nice to know where things are at. That way, you're not spending too much time looking for something, time that is valuable. A little bit white to my brown. There, there. Just pull the different direction. You got to create those angles and all that will come to play. A little bit black and maybe, yeah, maybe right out here. If you get the angles right, it'll look 3D. I used to struggle a lot, and I do at times, but now I'm getting more the hang of it. Even when you become better, you're gonna struggle with certain things. You're gonna say, I'm not the best at this. Okay, just using the corner of my flat brush. And you could start to see the rock coming together. Let me see if I could zoom in a bit. Yeah, I can. You could start to see those. Hi, Mark. How you doing? You can start to see all those brush strokes and all that. Just like so. I'm gonna add my highlight over here. Kind of get that shape going. So I'll just keep it moving. What do you guys prefer? Me doing um, live streams Wednesdays or Fridays? What do you guys prefer? Today I had to do Wednesday, but usually usually I tend to do Fridays. There, just there we go. Just block that in. And the first one is not 100%, but it's getting there. You can see it coming a bit more together. Little red, little green, going to mix up some more brown color. There. And I'm just gonna load up my brush with my freshly new brown because all my other brown is contaminated. I want a nice brown. There. That brown would serve as a middle tone. That's a little dark, but it's okay. As a painter, you learn how to make everything work, either or, whatever is convenient for you to do live stream. Well, I'd probably do Fridays. I mean, not that it's convenient, but for me, it just feels like, oh, the end of the week, here's a like a prize type thing. And I feel like the only time I would probably do Wednesdays, like situations like this where I'm gonna be busy on Friday. So just a little bit of white. I'm just constantly stepping back and analyzing what I have there. Okay. And remember, feel free to type in recommendations in the chat. Uh, if you want to recommend me adding something to the painting or what so. Maybe this would get darker. So a little bit of white, a little bit of that new brown color, and just get it a little darker, just a little bit. Okay, so now I have to bring it back to life because I had it and I kind of lost it. There. I think it's the shadows. I think they're not dark enough. Which you really just have to just mess around with your painting, and then after a while you'll be like, oh, it's that. It's not this. Little bit of black, midnight black. Just load up my flat brush and there. There we go. I think that looks more better, or whatever that word is. I don't know what word I'm looking for. There. I'm just gonna block in a basic shadow out there. I know I want another rock to live out there somewhere. You should brighten the top of the waterfall, create a focal point. Yeah, so I am gonna go back to the waterfall right now. I'm really just blocking in uh, where I want certain things. But after I'm done blocking in, I'm gonna start to to um to add in more details like brighten the waterfall, fix the colors of the fall, maybe fix the rocks. I don't know. I think they're looking good. I just got so invested in the rocks right now. Little too invested. Okay, there. Think where the light would hit, where it wouldn't, where shadows would be. There. There we go. There. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. There. Kind of pull down at an angle to create that look of 3D. I would I struggle with making something look 3D. Like I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say, "Oh, I'm perfect at that." No, I struggle at that. That's my weak point. And I always get mad because I would see Bob Ross doing like a mountain and it looked 3D, and um I was just like, why can't I make mines look 3D? Mines looks flat. Now I with the flat brush and everything, I kind of have a little more control, but still, it takes a little longer, and I'm just going back and forth, trying to get that. Look, on those rocks, look how full my palette is of paint. Oh shit. My bad. You can see how much I've been working on there. Trying to keep these videos PG, and I already cursed. I think that's the first time I cursed. I try to keep it very professional. But when I saw that wasn't working, I was like, oh, right now I think it's the first time I've cursed on a video. I might be wrong though. I might be wrong and cursed thousands of times. I don't know. I try not to do that though. Do you guys curse a lot, or is it not as bad? Let me just block in some more of that brown. I think I'm gonna put a rock out here. There. Just lightly back into our black and sort of just bring everything together little by little. Okay, there. Let me go into some white and just touch it very lightly. There. Just sort of bring everything together little by little. I tend to get quiet when I'm really focused, and that's not good for YouTube because then it makes everything boring for you guys. You're gonna be like, why am I watching his videos? Okay, let's go ahead. A little bit of midnight black, and there lives a rock right around here. I just want the basic point to be right around here. I'm just using the palette knife for quicker, but I'm not gonna use the palette knife to paint that. So it's just spreading the paint really. I was gonna add some brown, but I was spreading the paint. First you gotta spread the paint out a bit so you have that thin layer. But since we have such dark, like, it just makes our job easier with the shadow. All we have to do is just really just block in highlights. Let me see if I can lower the camera a bit. There we are. That's a better view. Okay. So let me mix up once again another brown. I'm probably gonna mix up brown several times today. Okay. Just clean off my knife. Crimson, sap green. Just mix it up on your palette. You can use a brush. I just prefer to use a palette knife. It's a little satisfying for me. I enjoy mixing this with the palette knife. God, when I pre-record a video again, now I'm gonna be used to taking my sweet time And when I do it pre-recorded, it's gonna take forever. I blame you guys. No, I'm kidding. A little bit more green. Okay. There. Just some light hitting. I'd say think about rocks like mini mountains. Don't don't really stress too much about them. Just think, oh, they're mini mountains. And you're just blocking in um, highlight shadows, all that boring stuff, but comes all together. There. Now let's go into our light color. Let's come up here and yeah. I have a thin layer of paint, so it kind of helps out with all the other layers. So when you're doing this, try to make sure you have like a thin layer. Don't overdo it. There. The biggest part is that contrast it's gonna give because we have such dark colors. Right here, they're not as dark. They're dark, but nothing like this dark. A little bit of black on my flat brush. There. Try to bring everything together. Even though there's lots of dark in this already, add shadows. Does not matter. I know you're probably saying it's a waste of paint. Why would I put shadows if there's already shadows? The rules are the rules. If not, you're gonna be like, it looks weird. Nothing too weird, but it'll look weird. There. There we go. Looks like a mini mountain, doesn't it? Okay. There. Now, let's go into some white, some brown. There. Just sort of block that in. Nice and easy. The reason why it takes so long in live streams is because I take this opportunity to try to explain it better than I might do with a regular video. You think I explain better during live streams or regular videos? I think regular videos are just there to be content. Just I mean, some people can learn from that, but others they really need those step by step explanation and they can ask questions and all that. There, right around here. There we go. There. Our rock is done from that side. Now, let me go ahead, tap a little bit of orange onto my 2-inch, and just all that hard work for nothing. No, I'm kidding. I just like my grass to go over. I'm so used to that. Okay, so let me zoom out a bit. There we are. I have a little shaky hand. There we are. Back in business. Okay, so let's go ahead and what should we do? What should we do? I'm gonna go into a little green with that black, little bit of brown on the brush, a little bit of lavender, so it can go with my orange color. And maybe out here there lives a nice evergreen tree. Just use the corner of your brush. Once you learn how to paint an evergreen, as long as your brush is chiseled, you'll be like, oh, I can do it with any brush, really. You find out you don't have to do it with a fan brush. It's good when you're starting out though. Fan brush is a good way to start out. There. We had a malfunction. Nothing too bad, but little malfunction. There. There we are. Just tap it so lightly. And I think the best advice I can give you, just don't overthink it. Once you start overthinking it, that's when the problem starts. Just leave it how it is. Um, okay, let's go ahead. Let's do a big rock. Maybe that rock is a monstrous rock. Boop, boop, boop. Compared to these rocks, this one almost became a mountain. I'm not gonna do much for that. I'm gonna just grab a 2 inch, just block it in. And then going again, a little bit black. Maybe let your brush go loose. There. Loosen that up. Pull. You can fill it in with that same brush. It's just too much work. Especially if you have a small brush compared to using a big one. There. Maybe. Maybe there's one like squared. Make your shaky hand work for you. We all have a little shaky hand, I truly believe. Now you can see the layers because you blended it. You can have those layers upon layers upon layers. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go into a brown, little bit of white. You see, it's still pretty dark because I didn't add too much white. I think the light would be like somewhere in the center. There. There. Maybe that connects. Don't think too much. Just loose strokes. We'll fix it when the time comes to. When we start getting detailed like the other rocks. Okay. There we are. Maybe this rock has a weird shape. Who wants to end this live stream now? No. Are you guys really busy? Because the more busy you guys are, I'd rather just speed it up a bit, just to give you guys more time. If you guys have a lot of time, I don't mind taking your sweet time. No, I'm kidding. No, I just don't like to waste people's time. If they have little to no time, speed it up. And if they have a lot of time, take your time. So that's the only reason why I'm asking if you guys have time or should I rush it. Okay, a little bit of black there. Try to see those patterns before you put them in. Try to know where they're at and all that good stuff. Okay, just like so. There. There we go. Over here there would be some shadows just creeping out. I have to fix the technical problem we had, or I had. So give me 1 sec. You should still hear me, but you just won't see me. But in the meantime, if you guys are painting along, which I doubt, um, you can use this time to catch up. If not, you can just wait. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound messed up, but okay. Seems like I resolved the problem somewhat. Let me just move some stuff. There we go. There. Problem semi-resolved. Okay. I wasn't too long. I don't know why, but I had that problem. Okay. So just a little bit of black, a little bit of that dark brownish. Yeah. Okay. Load up your brush before going at it. Can't Cannot do it without paint. Cannot paint without paint. You can't fish without bait. So make sure you load your brush full with paint before attempting to actually do it. There. Shoom. Okay. I know shadows over here would creak. Boom. There. A little bit more black. and it just comes straight down over here. There. Okay. A little bit of white, just a little bit. And let's try to bring this piece together a bit, step by step. Not trying to worry too much detail because I know I'm gonna want to bring the grass over, knowing me, unless I change my mind. But I doubt it. I'm gonna work that color in right now in a sec. There. You decide where each rock lives and all that. There. They come out with the highlights and shadows. So when you're doing this, that's when you have to decide. You have to make that choice there. The one thing, I don't want as much shadow as these. I want a little less. Just checking the live chat. Okay. Just keep it going. Thank you for watching, following this journey. I know it's a long one, but hopefully it benefits you or benefits you guys um, to learn a bit more and be able to ask questions on why certain thing does what or the other thing does another. I know if I had this while learning how to paint, I'd probably be asking questions. But every person, they're like so popular, they don't have time, or it's not they don't have time. They have so many people asking questions where no one can answer them. So I wish I had something like this, similar, where I can ask questions. But this is why I'm teaching people how to paint, because although there's many people who do it, I don't see many people um, saying, "Oh, if you have questions, let me know. I'll answer them. Oh, let me do a live chat." I don't see many people going out of their way to be exactly with you. So that's why I said I have good amount of time on my hands generally. I said let me give YouTube a shot, and that's why I'm here to try to teach you guys, you know, how to paint. And I think painting, it helps with your discipline, because even when you don't want to, you kind of want to learn something, and it just helps you open your mind up a bit more and see things in different views, different perspectives. So and it should be fun. It's something that should be fun. So I just want to teach everyone all of the good stuff. People say you gotta go to art school, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Every time I show someone my paintings, they're just like, "Wow, you did that," and I'm just like, "Yeah, but I don't know." Like I'm never like, "Yeah, I did it. I worked so hard." I'm just like, "Yeah, it wasn't too hard. Anyone could do it." But because I truly believe this isn't fine art at its best. I mean, this is more art than wet on wet, because you're doing different styles. You're not using your palette knife and all that stuff, but still isn't like the Mona Lisa. But it still shows you can paint. Anyone can paint, really. It's just the desire of do they want to. Now that's something else. Let me add a little more white. Little. Oh yeah. Let me let me blend it in a bit. That got too much, but it looks good. Okay. Let me wipe off my brush. Okay. Now, let me just check the live chat. Make sure it doesn't seem like I'm ignoring someone. Last thing I want someone to think is I'm ignoring them. I read the comment from the story. I forgot who exactly wrote it. I think it was Mark, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. I don't mean like, oh, it was boring or whatever. It was a wonderful story. I loved it. I just didn't know what to respond to that. But winter does have has its ups, its downs. I just don't like winter. Like I like winter how it looks like. I don't like winter for how it feels like. So I'm going to check back on the comment. But whoever wrote that comment, I really appreciate your comment, and I enjoyed that comment so much. It was a nice story that you guys wrote. Well, shouldn't say you guys, that you wrote. So just wanted to say that right now that I'm live, and I know you guys are probably here listening. There, there we are. There. There we go. Just kind of add shadows and just sort of make it look interesting in a way. That's the hard part, making something look interesting. But if you have good ideas, then that's the easy part. See, now I used to struggle with what should I paint, and I mean, not what should I paint. I would struggle with how do I paint something. I don't know how to do that, this and that, to now where I'm just like, what do I paint? Now, with a very soft, clean brush, I'm just gonna blend this out. Very soft. And I'm barely touching. I'm just going between that light and that mid tone. Just want to diffuse it a bit. Sort of like tapping, sort of tap slide kind of motion. There. Okay. Clean off my brush. Now, let's go into orange. Gotta mix up some more orange. Let me clean off my knife. And let me clear off a place in my palette. I have a big Bob Ross palette, and yet I run out of space. You're gonna run out of space on any palette, but I still would recommend a big palette like the Bob Ross one because it just makes it easier. You want your life to be easier, not harder. There. Somewhat mixed orange. Tap my 2 inch. There. There we are. There. So, any recommendations for the painting? Feel free to leave them. Yeah, okay. I knew I was between Mark or someone else, but I didn't want to say a name and be wrong and sound more worse or whatever. So, but Mark, your story was a nice story. Very, very nice. I'm surprised they let you borrow that truck. Usually people don't want to lend stuff out. They're just like, no, it's mine. Don't use it. But it's great to see that friendship between you guys. A little bit red. Just using my flat brush. Just mixing up the colors. Just mix up those colors. Until you're satisfied with the color, that's the color you want. Don't do a certain color because someone else says, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it this color. No, you do the color you want. There we go. Shoo. Maybe like so. Doesn't look half bad. Yeah. So when it comes to lavender, it complements so much the orange and the yellows, and they don't really blend too bad. So that's why when painting, like, it makes a nice contrast. It doesn't mud mix too bad as to black and blue and all that stuff. So that's why that's why when I know I'm going to use um certain colors, I I give myself an idea what colors to use. Like if I know I'm going to use greens and orange, like if I'm going to use greens, I'm gonna use black. If I'm going to use oranges and colors that can potentially mud mix horribly, then I use like a lavender. It's I just change it up depending the scenario or the case I'm in. Just using the flat brush, really, just going into cadmium yellow and just trying to combine everything together, get those light sources and all that. There. And I thought about the orange and purple randomly. I was like, there's probably someone else who's done it before, but I didn't hear from anyone. I just thought about it. I was like, black and orange would give me a horrible color. And I just started thinking, what colors can I use to achieve certain things? A little alizarin crimson to our orange on a nice dark orange, like to the red side almost. Oh yeah, maybe a little more red. When I'm saying red, I mean alizarin crimson. Yeah, that looks nice. There, there we are. I think that dark red kind of complements that orange. We're gonna go over an hour. Screw it. We're probably gonna go an hour and a half. Probably. Not saying that we are, but there's a high likelihood. There, there we are. Okay. little yellow, little red, and try to kind of blend that out a bit, just with your 2 inch. The hardest thing is just blending one color to another, so you don't know where one starts nor one stops. Just just going at it. There, there we are. Maybe maybe a little bit more yellow going in here. There, just a little bit more. There, just like so. And just a little bit draping over. You guys want to suggest something? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to fix up things, but I just don't know what else to add on. There's still a lot of things to fix. You guys want to see when I take it more seriously? Here it is. I take longer. If I don't really care about a painting, like whatever, I'll take usually like half an hour. I mean, it'll come out good, but it's like the wet on wet style, and I can do that pretty quickly. But if I'm trying to do like a different look, different style, it's gonna take me longer. And I already thought to myself, well, some people are gonna click off, but also some people are gonna watch because a lot of you guys asked for it. A little more yellow, a little more just, oh yeah. I just want an in between color. There, there we are. Little cadmium yellow. There. Oh yeah. Just a little bit of brightness. I think I messed up this little bushy tree, but it's okay. You gotta mess up something so the rest could look nice. There's always, I truly believe there's always one thing wrong with one painting. Like when you look at a painting, or at least with me, I'm just like, there's always one thing wrong. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always dissatisfied by one thing usually. Little liquid white. Let's see if we can revive it. Little liquid white, a little bit of cadmium yellow. There. There we are. How does that look? Oh, that doesn't look half too bad. Maybe a little bit more white. Just a little bit. Just want to sparkle a couple spots. Maybe maybe some leaves are falling off. And just target a little bit more red. There. You don't have orange underneath, it's still gonna mix with that yellow. So you wanna make sure you have that orange underneath to get that nice yellow contrast. 65 minutes. Yeah, I really went overboard on this one. But it looks great. This painting, I would I wouldn't be ashamed selling it. Some paintings I'm like, oh, should I really sell that one? I don't really think it's that good. But this one, it's like, it's not bad. And it's more, gives a more advanced look, at least in my opinion. I'm going to check the comments right now in a sec. So give me a sec if you wrote something in the chat or comments or whatever you want to call it. Let me just finish doing this a bit. A little bit of white, a little bit of yellow. Yeah. There. There we are. Cover up that stick. There. Lots of orange, lots of reds. Let me go ahead. I say let me like if you guys don't allow me to. uh, I'm a weird painter. Okay, I think like so. Now, let me check the chat. No, I was missing out. Could tree more tree trunks. Okay, trees and tree trunks. Let me just finish using this color because I don't want to contaminate too much. Well, I'm basically done with this color. Okay, lavender. I ran out of lavender. Passing an hour, is it too long for you guys? Like, do you guys say, he passed an hour, I want to leave? I don't know, because there's some videos I watch, and when I watch them go past certain time, I'm just like, I want to do something else. Like, I don't want to be watching too long. So just mixing up some blue and red. I'm gonna check the live chat in maybe like 2 minutes just to see if someone answers. I need my helper to tell me, yep, they answered, no, they didn't. He was the glue to this. Okay, wiping off my brush. It had a lot of paint on there. There. Just wipe it all off. All that work for pretty much nothing. Load up your brush full with paint. Maybe there's a taller one. There. And maybe there's one somewhat maybe one slanted. I haven't done a slanted tree in a while. As long as I think so, because I could be saying that, and I've done one last painting. That would be a little embarrassing. if you use lots of blue, lots of red, this will come out so dark, which looks great. And it just looks so great, and it won't really mud mix much. There. There we go. You guys like seeing this style more, like less palette knife work, more brush work, or you guys just want to see the old easy wet on wet style? I mean, this like wet on wet still, but it's like wet on wet on a little harder level, little bit, and it takes a little longer, just a little bit. I don't know. So I want you guys to answer that way. Um, I know what videos to make, which ones I should do less of, which ones I should do more of. Because if you guys like for example, let's say you like live streams and you like me to go over an hour explaining more into detail, and you like this style more than the wet on wet, then I would say, okay, this and this and this, and just kind of have a more basic idea what you guys prefer. There. Chisel my brush. Let me, maybe like so. The brush kind of does the work for me. Like I try to get the thing to go. Let me let me raise my camera. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, here, move it here. I tried getting it flat, but the brush wanted to do something else, and it's okay. Let the brush do what it wants to do. It's gonna guide you a path you didn't expect, and probably looks 10 times better. Oh, and I'm using synthetic brushes. I remember when watching Bob, he'd say, "All natural brushes and this and that." You don't have to use natural brushes. They help, but they're not a necessity. You can get away with using pretty much any brush as long as you know what you're doing. And you have to know how to kind of manipulate the brush to do certain things. This is a cheap brush I found in Joann's, my local art store, and cheap brush. It was like a pack of 25 for like $5. And this brush does me great. But then I also have brushes that are like this, more professional, that cost me 10, $15 for one. So I say it doesn't really depend much on the brush, but you knowing what to do with it more. Like you have to know, okay, if I do this, it's gonna do that. There. How's that look? I think that looks great. It's good to step back from your painting. If you're too close to your painting the whole time you're painting it, you're just gonna see that section. You're not gonna see the whole piece. And just let it blend into darkness. If it's too bright, just keep tapping at it. And you'll still see that orange, it's just darker. And I think it's perfect when it's going at the bottom because less light would hit it. Therefore, it would be darker. There. Just like so. There. So yeah, paints for sure. You need to have firm, thick paints. Like depending what style of painting you want to do. But if you're low on money and you say I can't afford a Bob Ross brush, doesn't really matter what brush you use, as long as you know how to use it. Now it will be a bit harder if you don't use artist grade brushes, a little, but it also teaches you how to do certain things. Let me check the live chat. One week away. I Here's the thing. I like both techniques where even I don't know what I want to do at this point. So I always rely on people telling me I want to see this, I want to see that, because that way I kind of go based off what they want to see, not because paintings I've done hundreds of them. I probably have more than 200-300 paintings under my belt that I have with me. Now, that's not counting the ones I sold. So I have lots of paintings I've done, and after a while, you start to lose ideas a bit. At least with me, I just have to go out into the world and see what looks like what to give myself ideas. But I run out of ideas time to time. So when people say I want to see this, I'm like, oh, never thought about doing that, and it just opens my eyes to more things. There, there we are. And then grab some orange. There, just block up that base. Okay, down. 78 minutes. What is it? An hour 18. Oh God, it's gonna suck uploading this. I can tell. 30 minutes videos usually take long to upload. Now this, okay, let's go ahead. Just wipe off the brush. Some of that lavender color. Maybe maybe it comes out here. Don't think I forgot about the waterfall. I'm still gonna fix a couple things. This is the longest video or live stream I've ever done. You guys are awesome for supporting me, and it also depends on the people, because those other people and they said no, I don't want to see you go for that long, I bet you I wouldn't. I bet you I'd be like, okay, I won't go that long, and that's it with that. But you guys are wonderful. You guys just want to see what I create, and I appreciate for your support. I, I'm grateful for every person that follows me and supports me in my painting journey. A little bit of blue, a little bit of white, a little bit of gray, just a little bit of all that. Look at this color. It's like a gray bluish. I just want a little bit of that gray blue to go in that waterfall, just to kind of neutralize it a bit, just a bit. because I think that purple doesn't work for this anymore. It's too bright. So I want something more cool, more relaxed. Okay? There. Now, we're going to try something. If it doesn't work, we tried it. And if it works, great. We know what works. Some titanium white. Look how full my palette is. Oh god. I gotta clear up some space. Okay. Let me just clear up that. Have a little space now. Got a little orange. But that's good because it'll act like a little light source. There, very lightly. I always wanted to try this, but didn't know the right painting for it. You know what? That brush is not the brush I want to use. Let's use this softer brush. Very gentle. Very, very gentle. I'm just doing it quick, but quick and gentle. And then let's go into a little bit of that gray, bluish, just to kind of tone it down, that base. Just really the top a bit. Very gentle. Very, very gentle. Now, I'm going to some pure titanium white with my small flat brush. Just just add in a few little sparklers, something coming down. You guys find this hard to paint? Or you think, oh, it's easy, I can do it? When I say hard, I mean like, oh, it's too hard. I can't paint that. I'll gladly go down a level or two. Really clean off my brush a bit, very lightly. Ooh, that kind. That's still too much. Okay, actually, let's go ahead. Little phthalo blue, little midnight black. Let's mix up a nice dark color. Somewhat dark, somewhat light. So a little bit of white. I just want to distort that color a bit. I don't want vibrant. I need toned down, cool color. There. Okay. Okay. Step one, remove all that paint. I thought right now when I was looking at it, it's too bright. There's no contrast. It's like a light lavender with white. It's not gonna show. There. Let's see if that shows. There. I think this might be like land. What do you guys think? Should I make this land or should I make it water? Land or water? Okay, there. Just have at it. Let me go into a little bit of black and just darken that up. Because the more darker it is, the more contrast you'll have right now when we have that white. Watch how it's gonna stand out a bit more than that. I mean, that lavender color was nice, don't get me wrong. But it just wasn't gonna do the job. A little bit of white, blue, white, just something simple. Just to get that basic outline. Okay, a little bit more white. A little more, actually. Just a little. Phew. Then I'm gonna grab my tiny, tiny flat brush, as you can see here, very tiny, and just a little bit of white. Just create sort of an angle. There, there we are. I'm going to blend that out a bit right now. Needs liquid white. Needs a bit of liquid white to thin out. There. Okay. Sorry I get a little silent on you guys. I'm just focused. I want this painting to turn out nice too. Well, once I started taking shape and everything, I was like, I gotta give it almost my best. Water, you need water. It is. I see. You guys really want it to be watered down here. Very lightly, just graze it. Do I have my blender brush with me? No, I took it out. That blender brush would have done me so much help. Just blend it out a bit. Just lightly. Very lightly. Just imagine all that water coming down. And I'm going to grab my palette knife, using the corner of that palette knife. Just, you know what? Let me cut a raw. Okay? And then blend it out. I want the top to be more brighter than the bottom. How does that look? That I also have to kind of look at the camera, see how you guys would see it. There. I think that looks good. 90 minutes. Damn, an hour and 30 minutes. It's gonna go up from there. YouTube is gonna say too long. Okay. I'm gonna just block in some blue right along here because I had like a black type. First, the plans were water, but not water. How you call? First, the plans were some land, but plans change and you just adapt. Okay, a little bit more white. There. Tap it very lightly. And I'm gonna do something different. Just grab at the top with some white, very gently. Just touch, pull down. Very, very gently. Okay? Now, let me wipe off my brush. This water is a little dirty. You gotta imagine it that way. Just using the corner of my 2 inch. Just tap. There. There we are. Oh, yeah. That looks awesome. I'm glad you guys said no. We need water. Because I probably um would have said nope. I want land. Just a little bit of blue, little bit of white. Just a little indications. Just oh yeah, that looks great. Some white there, and just oh, I love the way this painting turned out. There, just a little bit of like a light blue color, just to make it stand out a bit more. Maybe maybe there lives like a little riverbank there. How's that look? I think it looks great. I think the lighting too, because since there's no lighting, usually I don't need lighting for live streams, but today I went way overboard. You know I went overboard when it's the longest video ever that I've done. Maybe a little grass that grows out here. Maybe just crashes with the water. There. I think we should end it at that. What do you guys think? I think like that doesn't hurt it nor uh, do too much. Hold on. I'm gonna try to get some lighting in the the live stream. I have my lighting set up. I just didn't think we would need it today, but I was mistaken. Let me just set up my light so you guys can see it a little bit better. Not too much, because if I have such a harsh light, then also you won't see the painting truly. Let me just go to the live chat. Very nice, Raul. Thanks for entertaining us. For looking outstanding, Raul. Very good. Well, good night. All right. Well, in that case, we'll wrap it up for today. I thank you guys for joining me. I know for some of you it's later than me, so I like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck. Good night, good rest. Or for the people who are watching the replay later on, I hope you enjoy this video, whether you're watching it day, night, or afternoon. I really hope you the best of luck, and I hope to see you try this painting out. Until next time, I wish you the best of luck, and thank you for everyone who joined. And see you next Friday, I believe, for a live stream.